If you're a real Warriors fan living in the US, this video is for you. From coast to coast, America is buzzing after last night's game. Steph Curry just reminded the whole country why he runs the West. Jimmy Butler has never been the kind of player who follows the crowd. He's built his career on grit, heart, and an old-school obsession with proving doubters wrong. But when Jimmy recently made waves with comments about wanting to win the ultimate prize for Steph Curry and Draymond Green, fans across the NBA world stopped in their tracks. Wait, Jimmy Butler, a Miami Heat superstar, talking about bringing a championship for two Golden State Warriors legends? It sounds bizarre at first, but there's something deeper behind his words, something that speaks to the heart of competition, respect, and legacy. When Jimmy Butler talks about winning, you can feel the fire in his voice. This is a man who clawed his way from being a late first-round pick, doubted and traded multiple times, to becoming one of the most feared leaders in the league. And when he mentions names like Steph Curry and Draymond Green, you know it's not just empty talk, it's rooted in mutual admiration. Butler has always respected players who share his relentless hunger for greatness. He's battled against both of them on the biggest stages, and though their journeys are different, the drive is the same. Butler's recent comments weren't just about friendship or praise, they were about what greatness recognizes in greatness. People forget how close these competitors can be off the court. During the Olympics, the All-Star weekends, and countless off-season workouts, these players form bonds built on respect. Jimmy and Draymond, in particular, have always shared that fiery edge, the kind of passion that rubs people the wrong way but earns deep admiration among true hoopers. They both love defense, leadership, and intensity. When Butler mentioned winning for them, it wasn't literal, it was emotional. It was about embodying the same spirit those guys bring to every game. He wants to win like them, with that same purity of focus. But it's also about legacy. Steph Curry's legacy is already cemented. 4 championships, 2 MVPs, and the man who revolutionized basketball with the three-point shot. Draymond, on the other hand, is the defensive heartbeat of the Warriors dynasty, the enforcer who kept that machine running. For Jimmy, looking at players like that represents the standard. In his mind, those guys have the ultimate prize. He's still chasing a ring that would validate his years of sacrifice and pain. Butler's playoff performances have been legendary, but he's come up short twice in the NBA Finals. He's seen the celebration, the confetti, the champagne, but it's never been for him. So when he says he wants to win the ultimate prize for Curry and Green, it's almost symbolic. He's saying he wants to win at that level. He wants to join that club. Behind closed doors, many NBA stars admire each other more than fans realize. Steph and Jimmy share a mutual respect that goes back years. Steph once said Butler was one of the toughest defenders he's ever faced. And Jimmy? He's called Curry a killer in disguise, praising how someone so calm and friendly off the court can transform into a cold-blooded competitor the second the ball tips off. That's the kind of mentality Jimmy respects because it mirrors his own. Off the court, he's smiling, joking, and drinking coffee. On the court, he's an assassin who takes everything personally. There's another layer here, to something emotional. Butler has been through battles with the Heat that pushed him to the limit. Twice he carried Miami on his back deep into the playoffs, once against LeBron's Lakers and once against the Nuggets. Each time, he gave everything: broken body, exhaustion, pain, but the trophy slipped away. Watching players like Curry and Draymond celebrate year after year, knowing the pain it takes to get there, fuels Jimmy even more. He doesn't envy them, he respects them. He sees them as the proof that effort pays off. And deep down, he wants to experience that feeling before his career is done. When you talk to people close to Butler, they'll tell you he studies other greats not to copy them, but to understand what makes them unstoppable. He's watched how Steph carries himself under pressure, how Draymond motivates teammates, how they keep the fire alive through adversity. That's why Jimmy often talks about winning the right way. He believes in toughness, teamwork, and authenticity. In a world full of highlight chasers and stat-padding stars, Butler's admiration for Curry and Draymond is about values. These are players who put winning above everything else. Some fans, of course, twisted his comments, joking that Jimmy might want to join the Warriors someday. But make no mistake, Butler is a Heat lifer now. His bond with Miami is too deep, and his leadership there is unmatched. Still, the NBA world couldn't help but imagine what a team of Jimmy, Steph, and Draymond would look like. Three veterans who refuse to quit, playing every possession like it's their last. You can almost picture it: Butler driving to the rim, kicking it out to Curry for a dagger three, while Draymond roars on defense. It's the kind of trio built on respect, not ego. Even if that dream lineup never happens, the sentiment behind Jimmy's words reveals something important about today's league. It's easy to see rivalries and trash talk, but behind the scenes, there's a brotherhood built on years of competition. Butler's respect for Curry and Green is a reflection of what the NBA's best truly value: longevity, consistency, and loyalty. These aren't just athletes chasing rings, they're legends crafting stories that will live forever. Jimmy's comments also reignited debates about his own legacy. Can he finally capture that elusive championship before he retires? The clock is ticking. He's 36 next season, and while his body still looks strong, the grind of deep playoff runs takes a toll. The Heat have come close but fallen short, often missing one extra star or a bit more luck. Butler knows that every season now could be his last real shot. That urgency is what gives his words extra weight. When he talks about the ultimate prize, you can hear the hunger of a man who knows what time it is. And that's what separates Jimmy Butler from most players: his absolute refusal to settle. He doesn't chase numbers. He doesn't care about MVP votes. All he wants is a ring. And when he brings up Steph and Draymond, it's because he sees in them what he's chasing: a legacy defined by sacrifice, chemistry, and belief. Butler has said many times that he values respect more than popularity. For him, the ultimate sign of respect would be to join the ranks of players who did whatever it took to win. This mindset has shaped everything about Jimmy's career. Remember when he pushed his teammates in Minnesota to play harder? Or when he demanded accountability in Philadelphia? People called him difficult, but looking back, it's clear what he was really doing: holding everyone to the same standard he holds himself. That same standard he now sees in Curry and Draymond. Even the way he prepares for games mirrors their intensity. Steph is known for his insane pre-game shooting routines, drilling hundreds of shots until perfection. Draymond watches endless film, breaking down opponents like a coach. Butler? He wakes up before dawn, trains until his shirt is soaked, and studies his weaknesses relentlessly. These are not coincidences, they're the shared habits of greatness. One of the most touching things about Butler's respect for Curry and Draymond is how genuine it feels. In an era where stars often compliment each other for PR reasons, Jimmy's admiration comes from the soul. You can see it in how he talks, how his tone shifts when discussing players who embody that championship DNA. He knows what they've sacrificed: the sleepless nights, the losses that haunt you, the pressure that never stops. For Butler, this connection to other greats also serves as motivation. He's not the kind of player who wants to join super teams, he wants to beat them. But he still honors those who've mastered the climb. In his mind, the best way to honor Curry and Draymond isn't to play beside them, it's to fight like them, lead like them, and one day stand as their equal with a championship ring of his own. Fans love to imagine alternate realities, though. Social media exploded with memes of Jimmy in a Warriors jersey, of Curry wearing a Heat headband, or Draymond shouting on the sidelines of a Miami game. As funny as those images are, they highlight something deeper: the respect these players command across the league. Butler may never play with them, but he's connected to them through something far greater: the unshakable desire to win. And maybe that's what makes Jimmy's words so powerful. He's not chasing fame or endorsements. He's chasing that rare feeling, the moment when years of sacrifice come full circle, when you hold the trophy and know it was all worth it. Steph and Draymond have felt it. Jimmy wants to feel it too. As the new season approaches, Butler's words hang in the air like a challenge to himself, to his teammates, and to the league. The Heat are once again being counted out by analysts, as they always are. But Jimmy feeds off that. Every time people doubt him, he gets stronger. That's the same chip on the shoulder mentality that Draymond carries, the same underdog energy that fueled Curry early in his career. They all come from different stories but share the same heartbeat.